Okay, here in round 2, we've got the choice again. We'll play first. Yep, seems like a very good hand to me. We're going to need some more lands, of course, but yeah, this is a good keep. So I definitely don't want to hardcast the Instigator. Since I have collateral damage in my hand, I definitely want to get to 4 mana, steal it, and then toss it. Steal it and toss it. Alright, we are going to be needing a land, but if we can get it, we're in pretty good shape, I would say. No 2-drop. Alright, this is a good opportunity to get a land. Did not get it, but did get an Inoc guide. I'm going to actually search up the land with it, so we just need a second red source for our deck, really. I'm not even sure if we have, I don't even think we have double green spells. No, we do not. Alright, so I'm just playing Inoc guide as a 1-1, but just seems like when you need a land, you need a land. And being able to play either Vault Breaker or Heel Cutter into his Morph or whatever he plays here is pretty convenient. Or the Instigator, I guess, if it gets to that point. Pretty tempted to just play the Instigator since we're going to be... Then we're just one land away from... Then we're just one land away from stealing it and tossing it at another guy. I think that's probably going to work the best for us. I could heel cut here and deal 6, but I think I'm actually just going to swing with the Highland game. Play the Instigator and pass. It's an interesting trade. I like it. Now we're not in a big rush to flip up the Instigator. I think the best use of Instigator and collateral damage is going to be when he's got, 2 creatures out there. Not guide number 2. All right, well, it's a bit awkward, but we're just going to heel cut here. Get in for 6, which is pretty good. Could have vault braked there, I guess. That might have been okay, but I think getting in for 6 here is actually really good. Getting in for 6 here is pretty good. We definitely give him incentive to play another creature, and if he does so and we draw a land, we get to go collateral. We get to go instigate collateral damage, which is pretty good. He's just swinging. Skull Hunter. All right. So I guess we're going to discard... Well, we're going to be able to do Vault Break now instead of Heel Cut, which is quite good. So maybe I just want to discard the guide. I mean, the guide can find us the land, but I don't think I'm playing it this game. I mean, I feel like the burn away and the collateral damage are better in case stuff gets really hairy. I think having the 2 dash guys is better, as much as the fact that the guide can find land is convenient, but I'd rather do a little bit faster here. All right, Huge Stone Retainer's fine. That's an awkward draw right there, but let's just let's figure this out. Well, I guess we're just gonna heel cut again. I mean, I guess I could have instigated, but I still pretty tempted to just save that until we get 1 land. So once we get 1 land with it, we're in pretty insane shape. All right, swinging for the fences with no plays. That's an awkward draw. I think we're gonna vault break. Hope to draw a land here. Just gonna swing with the morph and the vault breaker, or try to. I think we're ditching a Tarka. It doesn't seem likely to happen. All right. He's targeting the vault breaker, so we are gonna get to keep our morph guy, which is good. Let's get rid of the let's get rid of Tarka. That's not gonna happen this game. All right, still didn't get the land, unfortunately, but it's okay. So damage is prevented. That's killed. Still very close to winning. We really just need a land, and this game's over. All right, I think we just block the Skull Hunter. I'm willing to let him unmorph and get some more damage in or whatever, but it seems like a reasonable trade. No plays. Land, please. Still can't get land, is that right? Still can't get land. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, it's really sad, actually. It's really sad. So, if I instigate now, swing for lethal, he's got anything, I just die on crackback. It seems like he's got something on crackback, or something for... He does only have 3 cards in hand, but... His complete and utter disregard for any fear is extremely worrisome. Yeah, it's just a really awkward, uncomfortable spot to be in, unfortunately. I'm really, really surprised we couldn't see a 4th land this whole game. It's really disappointing. I'm in a really uncomfortable spot. I'm going to play the Grizzly and pass. I may be forced to block with my morph. I think I'm pretty much dead if he's got an answer to the Grizzly anyway. But I don't know what else to do. I'm just in a really uncomfortable, awkward spot. Yeah, it's kind of the nightmarish situation I was hoping wouldn't happen, but is. So extremely unhappy with how this game turned out. So I guess I could have done it to his retainers, but then he just would have reached my Jeering Instigator and only took 4 damage and still been alive. So I'm screwed anyway you slice it, which is just really disappointing how this game turned out. Really just needed one land essentially this entire game, and we just couldn't get it, which is just infinitely disappointing when you can't get to 4 mana, finally do our cool combo, and I can't do it. It's just so awkward. Yeah, that's really sad. So certainly disappointing, but what can you do? I mean, I feel like it's essentially over now because I don't know how I deal with the Huge Stone Retainers, even if I don't die right here. Yeah, I can't do anything except have awkwardness ensue. Let me think. if I draw any land now and he has nothing, if he doesn't kill me here, he has nothing on follow-up. Okay, I can actually still win. I have to actually draw land, and then I play Heel Cutter Dash and collateral damage. So I actually do have an out, despite us missing a land the entire game. I just need to get a land right here. Man, sometimes Moto just hates you, doesn't it? God, sometimes Moto just hates you. Really just does not want you to get the victory at all. Won't give you a land the entire game. 16 cards in, I find 3 lands. Man. All right, no more complaints. I'm just going to allow that. I'm going to accept that that happened, even though we had a ridiculously good start, and really all it took was me finding a 4th land to win this game like 3 turns ago. But instead, I fall dramatically behind and end up losing, which is just so disappointing. So $1 trillion, my next card's a land, right? Of course. Of course. That's how it goes. All right, so just need to draw a little bit better than last game. And by a little bit better, I mean just get a right distribution of lands to spells, and I think we've got this in the bag. Just got to actually draw some actual cards, play some Magic, not get screwed at 3. So let's see if we can get a slightly better card distribution and take down the match. Take down a game, I guess. We've got a couple games ahead of us, but we need to win first. All right, game 2. Really hoping to draw okay this game. Sand's acceptable. It's not great, but we're going to try it because we at least have a 2-drop and potential 3-drop. So I think in this game we are going to play the Instigator on turn 2. Not an exciting play by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm hopeful we can draw lands. If we can't draw lands, then whatever. That's the way it goes. All right. So we could do Vault Breaker here, but kind of tempted to do the Hordling Outburst. Although Vault Breaker actually seems pretty appealing. There's a great chance he plays Morph next turn, and this is a pretty good opportunity to get in with Vault Breaker. I'm going to do Vault Break. I actually kind of feel like I really need another land drop next turn, even though I don't necessarily need it, but I feel like it helps a lot. Let's discard the Highland Game. I'd rather have the Hunt the Week if we draw something I can play. All right, Dragon Bell Monk. It's pretty awkward. Let's play the Vault Breaker again. We're just basically offering it up as trade fodder at this point. I guess we'll dump the Grizzly. There's a forest, all right. So we at least found our green mana, which helps. Okay. Leash's Vanguard. It's our 5th land. I think it could burn away and attack for 2, but this seems like a good opportunity to play the Hordling Outburst and pass. Okay. Definitely going to want to burn that away. I think I probably Hunt the Weak it if I don't draw a land. If I do draw a land, I probably play the Shock Maw. That's interesting. I can play... That's interesting. I can play Warshrieker plus Hunt the Weak if I can get Raid. So I could swing with 1 Goblin, Raid Warshrieker, Hunt the Weak, kill Battle Priest. which I think I would rather kill over the Vanguard. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. So I sacrifice a Goblin and then do War Shrieker plus Hunt the Weak. I gotta get some protection against the Feat of Resistance, so it does seem correct. So play War Shrieker. I gotta leave up a green mana. Get our raid. Then we go Hunt on the Battle Priest and pass. So now we at least have a 4/4 he's got to deal with. We have a Burn Away and we have a Shockmaw Dragon. Okay. Prefer that on that rather than the Shockmaw. Could Burn Away and get in for 4, but this seems like a reasonable time to play the Shockmaw. I guess I can't play Shockmaw yet, can I? So maybe we do just Burn Away. Well, Burn Away seems like a waste, though. I think we swing with Goblin tokens and then I play Aspirant. Kind of like that more. Kind of saving Burn Away for an actual big threat, because now at least Warname Aspirant trades with the Vanguard. Maybe he plays some more removal, you never know. But I feel like Burn Away deals with enough things where this is right. Yeah, Sage Eye Harrier is certainly not a concern. You can't even block the Aspirant with it, which is pretty convenient. Okay, so I think we just go land, swing with Aspirant. Looks like he's trading. And we'll play Shockmaw and pass. We also have double Heel Cutter. Keep that in mind too. Could lose the Burn Away to a Skull Hunter, but he'd at least have to attack in order to do that. Alright, so it looks like he's hunting. Problem is, he's going to have mana up for Feat of Resistance. Maybe. And if he does, then I'd prefer to not waste the Burn Away. Alright, so we didn't leave it up, which is good news. Which means we're just going to fry his Harrier and get in with our Flyer. Oh, that's nice too. So I guess I could Heel Cut Dash, make it so this can't block. But then he blocks our Shockmaw and he only takes 6, which is still a good amount of damage. I think we just Burn Away Flyer. Get in with Dragon. And it takes his Delve offline too, which is pretty convenient. But yeah, we just get in with Dragon. And then we pass. He might be able to raid us here with a Skull Hunter, but once again, I'll have to attack with Hewed Stone Retainer, which I don't think he's in a great position to do. But if his last 2 cards are a Skull Hunter and a Reach of Shadows, that could do it, yeah. So then he could attack and he could Skull Hunt us here. I'm hoping he doesn't have that, but we'll see. Alright, well, let's Heel Cut here, I guess. Could have the Feet. But does not look like he did. Okay, so we got game 2. Drew a pretty good distribution in that game, so that panned out for us well. Let's see, we're going to have to repeat that in game 3, I think, to have that level of success, but that did work well for us. Drawing the right combination of spells and lands is always nice. And Warshrieker did actually play surprisingly well that game with the Hunt the Week. That was a nice use of it for the mid to late game. Yeah, I think everything else seems fine, so we'll just try this again. All right, this is a slightly awkward keep, especially on the draw. Maybe less so on the draw. I don't know. Maybe it's more sketchy on the draw, but it doesn't seem something I need to mull, so I'm going to keep it. I mean, we don't have any 2 or 3 drops, which is pretty worrisome, but I think it's worth trying. All right, so we drew. Well, yeah, now I guess I'm still not playing that on turn 2. If we have the collateral damage in hand, I don't see a good reason to do that. That doesn't seem correct. No 2-drop is nice. If we could draw a 2-drop, that would be super good for us. Called it. Beautiful. All right. Deck's listening now. It wasn't listening in game 1, but I think the deck took to heart that I was upset with it after game 1. So it's like, all right, we'll see what we can do this time around. I just so badly want to do instigator collateral damage. Oh, it's not too bad. So we take a little lightning bolt. Acceptable. We get to play our instigator. And we get to get in for a bit of damage. And possibly steal something and toss it at something. But more likely just swing with the guide and the morph, but more likely just the guide into something. He might just play the Vanguard here, in which case I might just play Longshot Squad and pass. Alabaster Kieran, that's an interesting one. I think I still am just going to go, although now yeah. Well, now I just want to heal cut, so I think we're going to do that. Longshot Squad's decent, but being able to get in for 7 points of damage when I've got an instigator on board, yeah. Pretty sure we're just getting in for 7 points of damage here. I mean, he might just be forced to play Alicia's Vanguard, and then we get to do the busted, steal your creature, toss your creature at your other creature, get in for another 4. Yeah, all right. This is pretty sick. We basically just get to kill both of his creatures. That was pretty good. Now we got Heal Cutter and a War Shrieker too. But I think we're likely just going to heal cut whatever he plays here. Or if he just leaves everything up like he's going to Reach of Shadows, we just swing, follow up War Shrieker, Longshot Squad, and have Heal Cutter in hand. All right, it's not that bad. So we'll just sack an Instigator. He already did his job. All right, land, swing guide. Yes, we could have played the Heal Cutter there, but I think it's much better just because now, especially now that we have, I might have actually wanted to pocket that land now that I think about it, but I was going to say now that we have protection from Skull Hunter, but the truth is we don't have protection from Rakshas's secret, but I still think we're in a pretty highly developed board state position here. I mean, with the heel cutter, it's going to be pretty tough for him to do enough to survive here. Yeah, and he already knows about the heel cutter too. He didn't leave up a white mana, so there's no illusion of feat of resistance. All right, concession. So, all right, deck played excellent for us in games 2 and 3. I was definitely getting frustrated after game 1 there, just getting stuck on 3 lands. I think the thing that was most aggravating about it is we had it since the beginning, the instigator collateral damage, and I was just thinking, man, we only need 2 lands and this is just going to happen. And it started to get to like turn 8, and it was just like getting absurd. And then it got to the point where even on turn like 8 or 9, or maybe it was earlier than that, but it felt like turn 8 or 9, we still only needed 1 land to kill our opponent, and we couldn't get it. He was at 4 life. We had a heel cutter and a collateral damage, and we could not get that 4th land. So that was driving me nuts. But it turned out the deck played really well for us games 2 and 3, and our opponent just really didn't have quick starts. So being able to get the 2, 3, 4 drops really helped a lot. It's really been helpful in every single game, actually. Okay, so we'll see you in the finals. All right, in the finals, I'm going to try this again. On the play, and yeah, that is a keep. This is a really good hand. Okay. Got a good hand here. Think we most likely go Highland Game into Outburst. Even though Einok Guide has the extra toughness, I'd much prefer to trade the Highland Game and potentially use Einok Guide to find more lands if it comes to that point. Because we do have a Tarkir in our hand, which is currently quite a distance away from being played. But other than that, this looks like a nice hand. All right, well, oddly enough, our round 3 opponent was a no-show, despite us being in the winning bracket. So that's kind of weird. But we did have a good opener. I had a good feeling about this game. I mean, we really did have a pretty good start. How would we have drawn? Let's see. We would have gone turn 1 land. Draw Bloodfire Expert, turn 2 land, play Highland Game, draw Witness, turn 3. So we wouldn't have missed our land drop, which is nice. And we had some good plays. Yeah, this hand looks like it could have potentially been pretty good. I guess it was going to be a while before a Tarka was going to come in, but still, draft is pretty good. So the only problematic game was match 2, game 1. Other than that, deck was pretty consistent and good for us. So I dug it. Goblin Heel Cutter did a bunch of work. Never got to play a Tarka. Shock Maw Dragon did some work. I liked our removal. I like the War Shrieker Hunt the Weak play. I've never gotten to do that before, and I kind of like it. It only costs you 5 mana, and you end up with a 4/4 that can kill something with less than 4 power and less than 3 toughness, or less than 4 toughness, 4 or less. It's pretty nice. So overall, yeah, deck was pretty satisfactory. Like I said, it was only like a 6.5 out of 10 or something around there, and it ended up playing really well, so I'm satisfied with that. Technically, since we won the draft, even though we didn't really play for it in round 3, it is a 3-0 draft, so I guess the next draft will, in fact, be an 8-4. So we'll see you then.